Hello and welcome. I'm Michael Parag. I have with me Harold and Karen from the church in Troy, North Carolina. How are you both?
We're good.
Good.
Wonderful. And I have with me Charles, who's the referral representative who works with the church and was nice enough to bring them to get their ERC. Charles, how are you today?
I'm great, Michael.
Fantastic. So we're speaking today to a nonprofit. You are probably an executive director of your nonprofit, or maybe you're in a church and a different position within a church or another type of nonprofit. The purpose of this meeting today is to share with you how we're able to get employee retention tax credits for great nonprofit organizations like this church through the referral broker. So I want to thank you and welcome you. What we're going to cover in the next few minutes is a little bit about the process. So as we know, employee retention tax credits are available for both for-profit business and nonprofit. They're basically, our government is trying to reach out to our American companies and nonprofits and help them to get funds back because this pandemic caused so many disturbances. And the more disturbances that you had, meaning like at the church, you had issues probably with seating inside versus outside. You had to wear a mask, you had to do cleaning, you couldn't have the gatherings. It affected your ability to have new people, right? Did all that happen, Karen and Harold?
Yes, certainly I did.
You betcha. So Charles, share with the process how you were able to, as a referral representative, you went to your nonprofit and what the steps were so that the other viewers of nonprofits can see this as well, please.
Basically, I briefly explained the difference between PPP and ERC because most people understand the PPP process. They've been through it already. And they understood it very simply. And I connected them with the white glove sales specialist, and everything proceeded smoothly from there.
Wonderful. So you had a chance, Karen and Harold, to chat with our organization. We were able to explain that to you. And then at the end, we asked you to put in your documents right into the portal app. So share with us how the presentation went and how the document process went.
Well, it was one of the simplest things that I've done. I did the PPP and I've done several other grants with the daycare that we have. But this was the most simple thing that I have ever done, applying for funds.
Harold, was the explanation we gave you pretty easy to understand as a nonprofit? You understood step by step what we're doing and how we're doing it?
Sure. Yes, it was.
Okay, wonderful. Now, I'd like to take a moment just to congratulate Karen because she's one of the winners. We'd like to give her a gold medal. We have a lot of CEOs and nonprofits and such, and they say, oh yeah, we'll get you those documents put into the portal. You need to put in your 941s, your payroll for 2020, 2021. You would think that it's a difficult thing, but Karen, I think it took you about how long? Tell us about that process, please.
It really didn't take long at all, less than 8 hours. I mean, it was probably less than that. It was just easy to do. Of course, I had access to all of that, and it was easy uploading them. And I'm not a scholar in technology, trust me.
Well, we're appreciative of how fast you did it, and that what happened. So once the documents go in, then we write the check. We pay for our CPA fees up front. We pay for our lawyers up front. We pay for our expert administration people. You pay no dollars up front. You don't pay a fee to us, our 15%, until you're going to be getting your funds from the escrow when we follow up with the IRS and we collect them and then disperse them to you, and you get 85 pennies of every dollar. So Charles, how was the process? How long did it take about for them to find out, to share the good news, as we call it, when they find out how much money they got?
The estimate basically came within 5 business days, basically.
Right.
And then within 2 weeks, they got the actual amount.
Perfect. And I think the amount is around $6,250 times 20 people, which is about $125,000 in new found monies and donations. Karen and Harold, what do you think about that?
I am excited, very excited.
Well, she said the word. Excited is an understatement.
This really helps you through a pandemic. It's been a challenging time, hasn't it? I mean, you've really had to endure an awful lot.
It has.
These funds are coming from America.
Everything has been insured.
Yeah. So you're able to use these funds then and grow your charity in ways that you've been working on and dreaming of. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, we'll be able to do things that we couldn't normally have done.
We're so thankful to be part of the solution. And again, if it wasn't for Charles taking the time as a referral partner, and I'm imagining you're very thankful for him for coming to you, because sometimes people get a little nervous. They don't want to talk to their charities. They're afraid. But you're thankful for his referral, I assume.
Yes, he was very instrumental in helping us understand and getting us through this process. So yes, he's been very helpful.
Fantastic. So now we're going to talk a little more about the advanced donation program for your organization. And again, whether you be a church or different types of nonprofits of any different type in America, you have a certain number of full-time employees that are equivalent, meaning they're at least 30 hours. And if you have 2 people at 15 hours, then that's 1 full-time equivalent. So what you guys are doing and other charities are doing is exactly this. They say, look, we've had our meeting today with some of our donors, our members, our different board of directors. And we said, look, we'd like to invite you in to meet with our referral representative, and we're going to introduce you. Then they're going to explain what is ERC, how does it work? Because some of these people that are your donors are business owners, aren't they? So if you had, 100, 200 donors, just to pick a conservative number, let's say 10% were business owners and they each have at least 10 employees, just to pick a simple number. So 10 donors out of 100, that's 10%, and they each have 10 employees, and we got them $10,000 each, just to pick round numbers. That's $100,000 times 10 donors is $1 million. Well, you could easily say to them, look, we're introducing you to Charles, who's going to set up these meetings with you. They're confidential meetings, one-on-one, because this is their current business. They're not going to, be flashing it around. So then when those 10 meetings happen, they do the exact same thing that you did. And now all of a sudden they got $10,000 a piece times 10. That means they each made $100,000 of ERC. Well, 100 grand times 10 is $1 million. So if you said in your little meeting, and by the way, we're going to ask if in fact Charles and group are able to get you ERC, then we would like you to donate 10% back to our charity. Some of you may want to donate more, 20%, 30%, 50%, whatever it's going to be. We would be so thankful, because we've introduced you to a way for you to earn ERC, and maybe you can give some back to our charity. What do you, Harold and Karen, think about your ability to get your people to say, yes, we'd be glad to donate back? Seems like it would make sense, right?
Yes.
Wonderful. Well, with that said, imagine if we were then able to do that and each of them got only 100 grand. That means all of a sudden now you've got 10% of $1 million is another $100,000 to you. Or if you had 20 people, it'd be 200,000. Or if you had 30 people, it'd be 300,000. We currently have a customer, I guess, in the closing process right now, and they're going to be getting $7.9 million. If they gave 10% of that to your charity, that would be quite a big donation, I imagine. So with that said, sir, I'd like to thank you so much for your valuable time. Is there any closing words, please, you could share when you're talking to another charity here today?
I would encourage anyone to pursue this, because this has been really tough time, especially for smaller business owners where they didn't have the excess cash to easily float through this pandemic. But this is an easy process. And you always have the upper level that helps you. If you have any question, they're there to answer it for you and to help you walk through it with no problems.
Harold, could you take a moment, and as you're speaking to other, executive directors or other pastors of churches, please share from your heart how much you think that they should participate in this.
Well, I think they should. And again, it has to have been hard on them going through all that we've gone through the last couple of years. And I would encourage them to get involved in this, because there are monies that are there that can be available for them to help in all their projects.
Yes. Thank you. Charles, could you take a moment and just share from your heart about your feelings of how you're able to reach out to your charity and help them, and the good this is going to do, and it adds to your own little personal legacy?
Well, it's always a blessing to be a blessing. It's about giving. Whatever you give, wherever you sow, you reap. So it's been tremendous for me personally to be able to be a part of referring them, and look forward to referring many others.
I want to thank you all for your very valuable time today, and we appreciate you, and we're privileged as a company to be able to give these kind of monies to your nonprofit, to your church, and to the generations in the future that will benefit from these funds. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.